Hello, Cambly learners. Welcome. Welcome to our live class today about the future continuous tense. Can you see and hear me okay? If you can see and hear me okay, please write that in the chat. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know. Awesome. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I'd love to hear and see where you guys are calling in from today. So please write in the chat where you are calling in from today. What country are you from? Let's see, my name is Tutor Nicole and I am from the United States. I'm a tutor on Cambly and I'm so happy to be here today teaching you about the future continuous. Hello, Italy. Hello, Japan. Hello, Turkey, Puerto Rico, South Africa, Malaysia. Wow, we have viewers from all over the world right now. Hi, France, Japan, India, Italy, Iran, Pakistan. Hi, South Korea. Hi, Malaysia. Hi, Bangladesh, South Korea. Hello, Nada. Hi, India, Italy. It is so great to see all of you joining my live session today. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Ukraine, Philippines. Hello, Turkey, Bangladesh. Hi from the Bahamas, from Nepal. Hi, South Africa, Japan. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And thank you for joining my live session today. Again, my name is Tutor Nicole, and I am a tutor on Cambly. If you don't know what Cambly is, it is an online English learning platform that you can access 24/7. At any point of the day, you can be paired with a native English speaker and practice your English conversation, practice for your IELTS exam, anything you need, we are here to help. All right. Well, today we will be learning about the future continuous. Is everybody ready to get started? Okay. Awesome. Well, welcome. And let's say hello to our theme today, which is the future continuous. I would love to know how well we already know the future continuous. So we're going to take a little pre-quiz. I have a few questions for you, and I want to see if we know the answers. So the first question is, I would like to know, what is another way that you can say I will? For example, I will go shopping today. What's another way we could say I will? You can write in the chat what you think the answer is. Okay. I see someone said I shall. That's a good answer. Very good. I am going to. And I also see someone saying I'll. So these are all really great answers. And the answer that I have for us today is I'll, although your answers all work. That was really, really good. And I'll is a contraction that works with the future continuous. I'll. It's just another way to say I will. Another question, how or what is another way we can say we will? If we know that I will is I'll, what's another way we can say we will? Again, you can write in the chat what you think the answer is. We will. Another way to say we will. Good job, everybody. I see you saying we'll. And the answer is will. So for example, we'll go shopping today. We will go shopping. You could also say we are going to go shopping. Awesome job, everyone. Wonderful. I have another one for you guys. This is the last one, and it is they will not. They will not. What is another way we can say they will not? Good job. Yes. They won't. They won't. That is another contraction, a negative contraction. So here we have our subject, they, plus will, plus not equals won't. They won't. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Okay, so today we're going to go over what is the future continuous, when should we use it, and how to construct our own sentences using the future continuous. So the future continuous is a tense that is used as a way to talk about something happening in the future. It expresses an action at a particular moment in the future. It is an ongoing action. So not only does it happen in the future, but it's something that will happen for a good amount of time in the future. Okay, so I have some examples for us today. And the example is, I will be playing tennis at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So the reason this is a future continuous is because she will be playing tennis for at least more than a minute. Okay, so that is a continuous action happening in the future. Another one is, what will you be doing at 9 p.m. tonight? Okay, so when we construct our future continuous sentences, we have a subject plus will plus be plus the main verb. Okay, so if our main verb is to work, we will do work plus ing, I-N-G, okay? So let's say I am the subject, and we want to say I will be working at 4 p.m. today. You would say I will be working at 4 p.m. Can you guys try to create your own sentence using the structure that I have here? I'd love to see some sentences that you guys can create using the future continuous. Okay, so the subject could be I, you, he, she, we, or they. And then you do will be and the main verb. I, he, she, we, you will be blank. I see someone says, I will be going to a party at 4. That is perfect because we can assume that the party is an ongoing action. Therefore, we would use the future continuous. I will be watching TV at 10 a.m. Good. I will be visiting my friend this afternoon. Awesome job, everyone. I will be working at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Yes, we will see a lot of the words like tomorrow or later in future continuous sentences because it happens in the future. Awesome job, everyone. She will be waiting for me at 4 p.m. Or she will be going to the market. I love your examples. This is really amazing, you guys. Okay. So I have some more examples for you. I will be working soon. So the verb here is to work. And remember, we have to make it a gerund. So we have the I plus will plus be and the main verb. I will be working soon. Another example is she will be driving to New York City tomorrow. This is an event happening in the future. It's tomorrow, and we can assume that driving will take a good amount of time. It's a continuous action, and that's what makes it the future continuous tense. Okay, so she will be driving to New York City tomorrow. Awesome job, you guys. Before we move on, I'd like to see one more example sentence. And let's practice this time with the subject they. So we're going to do they will be blank. So we'll find a verb. They will be any verb, the gerund version of the verb, which is the verb plus ing. My example, they will be playing basketball from 4 to 10 p.m. tomorrow. All right, we have a lot of really great examples, you guys. Thank you. Oh, I love this. Yes. Okay, so they will be starting a food drive for donation. They will be playing football tomorrow. They will be having dinner tomorrow at 9 p.m. Wonderful job, you guys. Thank you. I love all your answers. These are fantastic. Okay, so we are going to move on to the negative sentence structure for the future continuous tense. So here I have the negative structure. I also have one up close that you can take a look at. So to make a future continuous sentence negative, all we have to do is add the word not between will and be. Okay, so it is the same sentence structure. All we did is add the word not right between will and be. So we have the subject plus will, not, be, and the main verb. So if the subject is I, we could say something like, I will not be attending the meeting tomorrow. Can you think of a sentence that is negative using these words? Using this structure? Maybe they will not be sleeping in tomorrow. She will not be doing her work. I love that you guys are using gerunds here. That is really great. I love that someone used a contraction. They said, I won't be playing football tomorrow at 9 p.m. I won't be using the parking lot tomorrow. Yes, you can say won't instead of will not. Okay, so that is a contraction. And yes, you can of course use won't instead of will not. So what it does is it takes will not and it goes like this. And it forms one word and it goes from will not to won't. Okay, so he won't be playing with me tomorrow. These are some great examples, you guys. Thank you for helping me create these examples. These are really awesome. Okay, so I have a few more examples that we can look at for the negative sentence structure. My first example says, we will not be working this holiday. Another way we could say this is, we won't be working this holiday. Okay, another one is, you will not be flying to Canada. We could also say, you won't be flying to Canada. Okay? Now, if we want to ask a question in the future continuous, there is a different structure. And so the structure looks like this. To ask a question, we will say will plus the subject plus be and the main verb. So for example, we could say, will we be flying tomorrow? So your sentence will start with will. Will we be flying tomorrow? I'd love to see some examples that you guys have using my structure here. I see someone says, will he be writing letters all day next Sunday? Will we be attending the meeting tomorrow? Okay, great job, you guys. Will we be eating at the restaurant tomorrow? So I love that all of your questions are starting with will, and then you have your subject plus be plus the main verb. Amazing job, you guys. Good, thank you. I have some more example sentences here for you to create a question in the future continuous. My first example here says, will you be coming over soon? Okay, so we have the will plus the subject plus be, and then the main verb. Will you be coming over soon? Another example is, will he be going on our family trip? Will he be going on our family trip? I see another example. Someone says, will you be doing something tomorrow? Great job. Again, thank you so much. I'm loving all of your creativity with the future continuous. Thank you, guys. Okay, I have a quick tip for you guys. The tip is, at the very beginning, I asked what is another way to say I will, and a few of you said, I shall. So a good tip is that sometimes we will use shall instead of will, especially for I and we. So instead of saying something like I will or we will, we'll say something like I shall, okay? So that will take place of will. And this is just sometimes. It's not very common, but you'll see it sometimes. So for example, you'll see something like, I shall be working today from 4 to 10 p.m. Using shall is a little more proper than using will. Will is still very common, but you'll sometimes see shall, and just remember that it's the same thing as will, okay? So again, the difference between shall and will is that shall is just a little more proper, yes. And the negative would be shall not, okay? All right, so now we are going to move on to contraction with the future continuous. Contracting is kind of like taking two words and putting them together, okay? So here I created a little formula to help you understand what the contraction is. So you have the subject plus will, and then you'll come up with a word that is the subject apostrophe LL. Okay? So I also have the structure up here that you can take a look at. And you have the subject plus will equals blank apostrophe LL. So I will turns into I'll. You will turns into you'll. He, she, it, will turn into he'll, she'll, or it'll. And then we will turns into will. They will is they'll. So I also have an up-close version. If you can't see it that well, I will, I'll, you will, you'll. Continued. So you can take a look at this if you would like to take some notes. You can also use this to start practicing. I'd love to see some sentences using contractions. So for example, they'll be going shopping tomorrow. We'll be sleeping in tomorrow. Okay, so I'd love to see you guys making some example sentences using the following contractions. I'll call you tomorrow. Good, that's in the future. It's in the future tense. Now let's try and make a future continuous sentence using the contractions. So let's use a contraction, and we're going to use the same structure. Okay, so if we have I, will, we can turn that into I'll. So maybe I'll be working tomorrow from 4 to 10 p.m. That is the future continuous. You're working from 4 to 10 p.m. That is an ongoing action. It is a continuous action. Okay, so I really like what you said. You said, I will be teaching you tomorrow. We can turn that into I'll be teaching you tomorrow. I see someone said she'll be going out for a walk. I'll be doing yoga at 9 p.m. I'll be playing basketball tomorrow. I'll be coming back. Wonderful. I'll be studying English tomorrow. You'll be teaching us next Sunday. I love all of your example sentences. These are great. I'll be attending online classes tomorrow. Good job, you guys. Wonderful, thank you. Very good. I have some more examples here for you guys using contractions in the future continuous tense. The first one is, I'll be going in soon. Maybe I'll be going into work or into school or into university tomorrow. Another example is, he'll be late today. We also have, we'll be arriving on time. And she'll be wearing black. Okay, because she'll be wearing black for a continuous amount of time. Awesome. Now, to make negative contractions, we will take the subject plus will plus not, which equals won't. Here I have an up-close version for you guys. Subject plus will plus not equals won't. Now, you will still use the subject before won't, and you'll still use the same sentence structure. You'll just be using the word won't. Okay, so will not, another way to say it is won't. If you use will not or won't, they're both correct. They're just different ways you can say it. Okay, and this is a little more common to say won't instead of will not for speaking English. I love that you've already started creating examples. Someone said, we won't be studying tomorrow. I won't be reading a book. I won't play football tomorrow. They won't be sleeping tomorrow. She won't be running with me. Great, I love that you guys are keeping these in the future tense. They won't be cooking tomorrow. Good. And I also love that you're using words like tomorrow or later or soon, because these are all things that are happening in the future. It's not happening right now, it's in the future. Good. And I also love that you're using gerunds. So instead of doing she won't work tomorrow, you're using she won't be working tomorrow. That's what makes it the future continuous. Good. Wonderful. I have an up-close version for you guys to see using won't. I will not turns into won't. I won't. You will not. You won't. He, she, or it will not is won't. And then we will not is we won't. And lastly, they will not is they won't. Okay, I'd love to see a few more examples using won't. If you can just write in the chat using the sentence contraction here, the negative sentence contraction. Remember that is the subject plus will plus not equals won't. Yes, very good. She will be late tomorrow is correct. That is very good. You could say something like she won't be attending class tomorrow. She won't be playing tomorrow. He won't be playing with me. I really love all the examples you guys have. Awesome. So we're going to go over everything that we learned really quick, and then we're going to take a short quiz, okay? So again, to form the future continuous tense, we will take the structure here, and we will have the subject. The subject could be I, you, he, she, it, we, or they. Then we take the word will, be, and the main verb. So if your main verb is something like to work, it won't be work. It will change to the gerund verb, which would be working, okay? So we have I will be working, you will be lying. Excuse me. He will be using, or we will be having. To make that negative, we will make the subject, we will put the word not in between will and be. So, for example, they will not be playing tomorrow. Okay, you can also contract any of these using our contractions over here. Okay, so you could make this, I'll be working tomorrow. You'll be lying down tomorrow. She'll be using. Okay, we can also do that with will not. Maybe they won't be playing tomorrow. We won't be having dinner tomorrow. Okay? So when we use the future continuous, the future is different from the future continuous because it is something that describes an ongoing action. So ongoing could also be called continuous. So for example, we will use the future tense in this specific example. I will go to work tomorrow at 4 p.m. So you will arrive at work at 4 p.m. But to explain the fact that you will be working for a long and continuous time, you would say, I will be working tomorrow from 4 to 10 p.m. Okay? And so the future continuous just describes that it is an ongoing action. So maybe playing football practice, going to work, driving from work, wearing a specific color all day. These are all things that are continuous actions. They happen for a long amount of time in the future, and that is why we would use the future continuous, okay? So thank you guys again for your examples and all of your participation. I think we're ready for our quiz time. You know that Teacher Nicole loves quizzes, so just stay tuned. Okay, so our first question during our quiz today is, I blink during rush hour. The verb here is to drive. How would we make this into the future continuous? Okay, don't forget our formula. So we have I will be, and then our verb is drive. So I blink during rush hour. Good. Perfect, you guys. I'll or I will be driving tomorrow. These are the answers to the following. So we have the contraction version, I'll. We also have the future continuous normal structure, which is I will be driving. Good. I will be driving during rush hour, or I'll be driving during rush hour. Wonderful job, you guys. Now, for our second question, we have, he will not be blank the bus. So you can see that we already have will not, the subject, and be. So all we're missing is the gerund of to take. Does anybody know the answer for this one? Good. He will not be blank the bus. Okay, and this is the future continuous because he would be taking the bus for a long amount of time. I love all of your answers, and the correct answer for this is taking. Okay, so remember, whenever we're forming the future continuous, we have to change that to the gerund version. So it's not going to be he will not be take the bus. It will be he will not be taking the bus. You could also say he'll not be taking the bus, or he won't be taking the bus. Okay? Great job, you guys. So we are going to move on to the third question. The one I have here is where blank sleeping tonight? Let's turn this question into the future continuous. The subject here is you. So how could we make this a future continuous question using where blank sleeping tonight? Good job, you guys. I love that you're using the structure here. So we already know that the subject is you. And then we have will be in the main verb. Awesome job, yes. Great. So what we're missing here for the future continuous is will you be, okay? So that would make the sentence be, where will you be sleeping tonight? Great job, you guys. Where will you be sleeping tonight? So we have will and be, the subject, and the gerund verb, which is the main verb sleep plus ing. Awesome job. Okay, we have 2 more questions, so please bear with me. Our question number 4 is, We'll be blank the news at 10 p.m. The main verb here is to watch. We'll be, or we will be, blank the news at 10 p.m. How do we make this in the future continuous form? If the main verb is to watch. Yes, great, you guys. I see a lot of you are saying watching, and you are correct. Because don't forget, we're going to be taking that verb and adding ing to the end. So the main verb was to watch. We would add ing and make it watching. We'll be watching the news tonight. This is future continuous because watching the news takes a long amount of time. It's happening in the future, and it is a continuous action to be watching something. Awesome. Okay, we have our last question. And the question is, it blank by the time you get to school. So our subject here is it, and we're missing 3 words. What 3 words are missing here? Okay, don't forget our main verb is to snow. We have to add ing to that. And then we're missing 2 words to make it future continuous. You can always use my little formula back here. Will be main verb. And bonus points to you guys who are using the contraction. I see some of you have changed that to it'll. That's impressive. Okay, so the answer is will be snowing. So it will be snowing by the time you get to school. Again, thank you guys for practicing your contraction here. It would also work to say it'll be snowing by the time you get to school. Or just, it will be snowing by the time you get to school. All right, give me a virtual high five. You guys passed the quiz, and you did a really, really great job, so thank you. And I love that you guys are helping each other out in the chat and explaining certain things about how to form a gerund. I'm very, very happy to have you guys here today. So that is the end of our lesson. Before you leave, I do have a promo code for you guys today. So for discounts on your yearly subscriptions, you can type in GoFuture for your promo code, and you can get at least 36% off of your yearly subscriptions. Yes, this will be lasting. So GoFuture, you can also click the link in the box below, and that link will take you to get your 36% off of yearly subscriptions. So you can either type the promo code on the website, or you can click the link below. Okay. Again, that is 36% off of yearly subscriptions. Now, before you guys go, I want to make sure that we will, sorry, I'm reading your guys' comments, and it's just so sweet. Thank you for the nice comments. So if you don't know what Cambly is, it is an online English learning platform where you can be paired with a native English speaker and practice anything under the sun. So you can practice for your IELTS exams, you can practice your business English, you can practice for English courses, or just have a relaxing conversation to gain confidence in speaking English. We are a 24/7 English learning platform, so you can log on whenever you want, and a tutor will be available. If you don't have a Cambly account or a subscription, again, you can join just by clicking the link below or typing GoFuture in as the promo code. Okay? If you would like to book a lesson with me, you can also click another link below and you can book a reservation to practice your English with me. My name is Tutor Nicole, and I am so happy to teach you guys today. I hope that you got something out of this lesson, and I will see you in the future, okay? Bye, everybody. The live lessons are every Sunday. You can join us here every Sunday, okay? All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you.